I'm Jimmy Award and welcome to my review for Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season finale. If you don't want to know any spoilers about this episode or any details about the plot point for the whole series of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I recommend you start watching this video now because it will contain heavy spoilers, so you have been warned. Now, I have done a previous video already to this, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thoughts and opinions. At the time it was episode 1 to 14. I was recently getting back into the show after watching Captain America Winter Soldier. Due to the plot points that happened in that movie and how crucial it was to the cinematic universe and of course to the TV universe with the show, I was extremely curious to see how they were going to incorporate that and how it was canon to both the cinematic universe and the TV universe. And it actually did pay off quite well. The show has improved from my initial thoughts and opinions from that video, but in any case I will put a link in the description below for that. I am curious to see your opinions, of course, and what you think of the season finale and the season as a general, because Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. hasn't been the best show, definitely not, and it's something I definitely would not own on DVD. If someone gave it to me, I might keep it, I might not. It's the type of show which I think it was a bigger concept on paper than it was, and I think with the mid-season break they definitely had a chance to improve and pick up and try and actually do something, actually worthwhile, and I think they've done that successfully within these last couple of episodes. The season finale definitely was a huge payoff for the series. After getting back into it after the season finale break with Captain America Winter Soldier, I was curious to see how they're going to relate into it. Being the fact that Winter Soldier had, Hydra infiltrate S.H.I.E.L.D., which, basically S.H.I.E.L.D. was just shut down, it was destroyed, it was gone, which I thought was a very dark and very satisfying and very kind of bold ending to do a movie on. The S.H.I.E.L.D.'s been in all these Marvel movies, and just to kind of say like, yeah, Hydra's fucked us over and we're gone, that's huge. And I was really curious to see how the TV show's going to do it. And through the incorporation of the series, it has really picked up and it has got a lot more creative, and I think alliances have changed, and good guys have turned to bad guys, actually pretty creatively, in all fairness. And you got Bill Paxton in the series, which is absolutely fantastic, a really great villain, actually playing an actual Marvel character from the universe, a kind of like Deathlock General, which is kind of like a cybernetic suit, which in the original comics he had, and it's had a chance to actually do something its own and actually give a worthwhile season finale. And the season finale for the show I thought was actually really good, and actually a really good payoff. Actually some good tie-ins, tied off a couple of loose ends, left a few things open for the next series, and actually did exactly what I thought they were going to be honest, which is actually bring back S.H.I.E.L.D. The storyline, if you're not familiar with, basically Agent Coulson and his team are basically going to infiltrate kind of like this kind of cybernetic industry in a sense, which is creating these basically super soldiers which create like electronics, like limbs and things like that, and but at the same time they have an explosive at the back of their head, which basically if you do not cooperate, if you do not do what you're told, you will get your head blown off of it. And then they really touched upon it and really expanded on it a lot more with the Clairvoyant and Bill Paxton's character and Hydra coming into it. And you can definitely tell they had a little bit more of a budget to play with for that season finale. With some of the inside locations, they do a few more explosions, they can do a few more kind of stunt work, and by having a couple of cameos here and there and actually kind of tying off all these loose ends and what the show's been building up to, in a sense, with Bill Paxton's character, Deathlock, and having Samuel Jackson come back finally for the season finale, leave a few things open for the next series, I think it was a pretty bold step, and I actually did quite enjoy it. I think they need to learn massively from their mistakes from this series and actually do something like the Arrow TV series is doing. I haven't got around to watching that DC TV series yet, but it's doing a lot of stuff which it looks pretty freaking cool, and I can't wait to get into that. And I think this show needs to just start doing that next, actually start expanding its universe, start introducing those kind of like lower superhero characters, those kind of lower villains. Okay folks, in my top 5 favourite moments from the episode, number 5 is the relationship between Phil and Simmons. This has been kind of hinted throughout the entire show about, this kind of like the two lab geeks that actually are doing the sciencey stuff, and the kind of the comic relief of the show in a sense. I felt the relationship in this episode was definitely in building up to this point, and the fact that they didn't quite do it in a cheesy way, which like most TV shows do, with like an epic kiss or something like that, without saying I love you. And that really brave and courage acted scene as well, I thought it was pretty decent, and actually genuinely did surprise me. I'm hoping season 2 will continue that, elaborate it. We're not doing it in a cheesy or, you know, kind of like sitcom way. Number 4 was the Deathlock tie-up. Jay Richardson replays Matt Pearson / Deathlock in the series. Actually a pretty well-known character from the actual Marvel comics. I felt he was really good, especially towards the last half of the series. I felt they really built up his character and kind of going from kind of like a nice guy that has, you know, happens to have these kind of powers in a sense. And I love the very first episode we saw him, really good guest star. If you're familiar with Joss Whedon's work, you would have seen him in all types of shows like Angel, and you know, I think he did a couple of cameos and there's a few other work for sure. I think it's really good acting in this series for sure, especially with him becoming like an anti kind of villain in a sense, you know, after doing these really bad acts and actually becoming the villain of the show for a few couple of episodes. Not by choice, of course. He is one part of that super soldier kind of program being controlled by Bill Paxton's character, the Clairvoyant. And I love the fact that the season finale actually had like the moment he knew his son was alive and safe and calm, that he's like and actually like fucking crazy against Bill Paxton, the guy that's actually made him do all these gritty nasty things, killing people and actually torturing people, things like that. And the fact he has an opportunity to actually, you know, shoot 2 rocket launchers into him basically and stamp his face into death, I think was a pretty awesome scene, especially emotionally and well acted, and I felt it was like a fair play, mate. And I love the fact the season finale as well showed him like he's not going to like reveal himself to his son. He's got a lot of things to make up for. He's going to go out and make amends and actually become an asset to the team. So that's a really good way they actually tackled that character and kind of wrapped him up a little bit and actually saying he is actually going to be a good guy. He's going to take this, you know, his technology, these kind of android things he's got on him, and actually go out and actually try and make the world a better place and actually make amends for what he's done. Number 3 is I know what this does. That's right, the gun from the Avengers, of course, is back. I absolutely love the fact that he rebrought this gun back, of course. The famous moment where he used the destroyer weaponized gun and actually shot Loki while after being stabbed. I think it's an absolutely fantastic scene from the Avengers movie, and the fact they brought it back for the season finale was brilliant. And he actually kicked some ass using it and actually, you know, instantly started using it, you know, kicking some super soldiers in a sense, and actually it's pretty fucking awesome in a sense. You know, good reference, good little tie into the movie, very personal, and people that followed all these movies and followed all the, you know, TV show to this point, it was a really good payoff. And the fact that Samuel Jackson handed it to him personally, saying, "This is your weapon, this belongs to you," I think was a really good tribute. So I really enjoyed that moment. I felt it was a really good smile on my face for sure. Number 2 is Bill Paxton, his death scene. That's right, he plays a character in the actual show, the Clairvoyant, and he's kind of like a super soldier, quite nuts. But in the actual comics, he has like a full-on like cybernetic kind of like, you know, chest and, you know, arms, things like that. You know, it's only his head that's practically still functioning. And I felt from like the moment they're going to do, the moment he got his head stamped in, they did a kind of like a cut scene where he's kind of like getting back up and goes into the chair and gets all the cyber tech on his arm, and I figured like, oh, okay, he's going to become the full badass kind of like, you know, villain that we know from the comics. And you know, I love the fact his last line saying like, "I truly am indestructible," before getting shot and, you know, blown to smithereens in a sense by Agent Filson, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. The fact that they just like killed him off, you know, again, I thought was really, really funny. And the fact like, yeah, the writer's saying like, you know, we're not going to do that kind of cheesy ending in a sense. We're actually going to kill him off, but think he's going to come back, which I thought was really cool. So we got to see him in his full glory of the actual robot suit and his 2 powers before getting like literally splattered over the floor. I thought that was really funny and I didn't expect it, and I felt it was actually surprising for the show to actually do something on those lines. So yeah, really cool little scene there. And number 1, of course, is the Samuel Jackson Nick Fury cameo. Of course, probably one of the best highlights of this episode. The fact that he came back and actually did another cameo after the events of course, Captain America Winter Soldier. He did do a previous cameo in episode 2, which I felt was a really funny cameo, and the fact he came back for the season finale is even better. I love the fact that, you know, it's kind of like passing the torch over to Agent Coulson in the sense like, you know, you're director now, you can start S.H.I.E.L.D, you can become, you know, make it true, make it pure, what it once was in a sense. And I like the fact he said like, you know, I'll be around, you know, you're not going to see me for a while, but I've got my eyes everywhere. I thought that was a really good cameo, really good lines, and he actually was in it for a lot longer than I thought he was. He actually did help Agent Coulson, he actually stuck around, actually answered a few questions, a few answers, and just a case of passing the torch over to the show and actually saying, fair play mate, well done. So I'll be curious to see if Samuel Jackson makes a return in the cinematic universe or even the TV show, I don't know, but it seems like his character now is kind of like exited the show for a while, maybe come back, maybe in Avengers 2 possibly, or, you know, maybe future content. But I feel this is the last kind of like quiet down moment now for Samuel Jackson's character as Nick Fury, and you know, I think he's had a pretty good run. I think he's been in all the movies really well, and I think he's played them really well. Captain America was his best performance yet, the character, and I think it was a really good tribute to him to come back into the show and actually have a good send-off to the season finale. So awesome stuff. So yeah, the best cameo, the best #1 moment for me was Samuel Jackson. So the season finale was actually a really good payoff, and I actually really enjoyed it. For most fans, it's up to you what you think of it. You know, I think season 2 will, you know, mend what was the issues for season 1. I think it has a lot of problems still in places, especially with some of the dialogue and some of the obvious cheesy one-liners and places like that. But it's part of the TV show, it's part of the charm of it, and I think there's a lot more they can explore and do. And especially by the last shot of the ending of the episode explains that, you know, there's still more to what happened to Agent Coulson, especially with his surgery and how he survived the accident. So yeah, interesting stuff. That's been my review for Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, the season finale. I hope you enjoyed watching this review. What do you think of the season finale? What are your thoughts on the season as a whole? Are you looking forward to season 2? Let us know your opinions. Comment down below. So in the meantime, Andrew from TV, signing out.